What's up, guys and gals, and welcome to Weekly Indie Newcomer, the Friday series where we play an indie game that's been particularly scratching at an itch. And let me get on the right screen here. We're playing Dungeonmans this week by Adventure Pro. It's $14.99, so if you like what you see here today, go ahead and purchase it. Support the developer. It just went into its 1.0 iteration earlier this week, in fact. I think it's the 11th right now, and on the 9th, it went into its 1.0 version, so it's actually complete now and out of early access. And so that means that it's time to do a Weekly Indie Newcomer and appraise its strengths. Now, this game is very interesting, and it's a roguelike. Actually, I'd say it's a roguelike. I wouldn't call it a roguelite because it's actually a little bit heavier than, I would say you could put it somewhere between Dungeons of Dreadmore. So more complicated than Dungeons of Dreadmore, but less complicated than Tome. And so it's right in that little sweet spot for people that may have completed a roguelite before and want to step into roguelikes. This would be a very good entry game. It's got an amazing sense of humor. It's very funny. The whole game is just like a joke in and on itself, and I don't mean that as an insult. I mean, like, the entire game is just riddled with humor. Like, the game completely and totally does not take itself seriously at any time. So before I waste a few more minutes just jabbering on, let's play. We need to make a new academy. The point of the game is that you are starting an academy of heroes, and then heroes one by one. You're not actually the main character, you're kind of the academy, I guess, and so you're sort of like the administrator, and one by one, heroes come along, they become trained at your location, then they go out to die, get treasure, bring it back, and upgrade the academy. So, we need to name our academy. I don't know what I want to name it. I have no idea what I want to name it. So, it says, our story begins in a forgotten age, a legend lost in histories that were buried in old myth. On the unfamiliar shores of an untamed land, a hero strode forth to... No, don't be silly. That hero is not you. Strode forth to bring the light of knowledge and civilization to a wild continent known only as... No, not a bunch of apostrophes. That was an accident. That was a misclick right there. Nobody would ever name an entire continent just a bunch of apostrophes. That would be a major typographical error. We will call it Humble Branches. Yes, indeed. Indeed. And then we will press enter. This great hero upon the shores of Humble Branches brought with him but one thing, the iron spirit of a Dungeonmans. There is no greater force than the Order of Dungeonmans, each one a titan of monster-crushing greatness, an unparalleled treasure hunter, a veteran of 1,000 battles. Here, one of eldest and greatest of their champions set out to spread the light of the Dungeonmans into a new land. The great hero set out to build a mighty Dungeonmans Academy, an institution of higher learning and martial training, one that would serve as a beacon of civilization to the terrified native villagers, cowering in fear from what terror lurks outside their walls. The toil was not a small one, but eventually the academy began to accept its first students, bright-eyed young hopefuls willing to take up the cause and bring war to those who would prey upon the just. So begins the story of one young candidate ready to embark on the rigorous years of study required to be a true Dungeonmans. Alright, so we gotta have a candidate name. I don't know what I want to name him, but I'm going to call him Candy Crane. Yeah, close enough. Not my favorite name that I've ever made, but still, I think it's acceptable. Now then, we gotta pick a stat book. And so when you pick a stat book, essentially all that you're doing is you're going through and you're trying to decide on what stats you want. That's all this is. You get a bunch of presets. You can say he's no Dungeonmans and you can re-roll it, and so it'll kick him out, but you can say let's reconsider. So anyways, these stats are actually all pretty bad, and they are randomly generated. You can get some characters that are just massively better than others, and it's just something you have to learn to deal with. For right now, I think we'll probably go... Wow, these are all pretty terrible. So you've got Strength, which is melee prowess, Skill, which is range prowess, you have Science, which is... What does Science do? Oh yes, it's like your defensive abilities for status effects and things like that, and then you have Foom. Foom is the that's the power of your magic. The more Foom you have, the more powerful your magic is. And so I think this is probably the best stat roll right here. I mean, it's still pretty bad, but at least the Foom is okay. So we'll go with that, and then we'll make this character a Wizardmans, because obviously Foom is the strongest stat right there. If we didn't like any of the stats, and let's say that we were totally dead set on having a warrior, like a Fightermans or a Rangermans, we could just re-roll it until all the stats came back, and then eventually we'd be happy. These are the presets that you get to start with. Southern Gentlemans, they have class, dignity, and berserker strength, and so basically they have a ton of tact, and they're very well spoken until you make them angry, and it's a berserker. It's basically a berserker who has really good social graces. The Bannermans. The Bannerman is exactly what it sounds like. It's just a herald. The Dungeonmans, that's a blank character where they don't really start with anything. You basically get to allocate everything the way that you want, and you start out with random gear that you can assign the way that you want. So that's what people who want to make their own character will do. Necromancer and Wizardman's just kind of two sides of the same coin. The Necromancer picks up these little things that the bad guys drop when you kill them, like these little skull coins, and then trades them for more attacks. The Wizardman's uses his MP, so it's kind of... Necromancer, you gotta kill people to keep the job going, so in long, drawn-out battles, the Necromancer can have some weird issues, but still some very, very powerful abilities. The Wizardman's is probably what we're gonna go with. The Wizardman's thus far has been my favorite character because he is a beast. The Wizardman's is just like, wow, he just lays down the daka quite flat. The Rangerman's is your ranged character, lots of bows, leather armor, you know, sarongs, all that sort of thing. Fighterman's, lots of plate mail, lots of chafing, a whole lot of weird kind of metallic slivers in your armpits, but fighting with melee weapons. We're going to do the Wizardman's. And then you get to choose 2 perks. We can be Southern Born, which gives you health, Book Burner, which gives you XP boosts for eating books. Yes, you take a bite out of the book. It essentially allows you to destroy skill books to get more XP and to restore your health. So essentially, you're an illiterate savage who just runs around eating the pages out of books. Don't try that at your local library. The police might get called. Scrounger, you find more stuff in the world. I'll take that one. Defiant, you deal more damage the more hurt you are. Pneumatized means that you have more AP, so every now and again you get like an extra action, you get to take a double turn. Pretty powerful. Electrolyzed, you get more mana recovery and stamina recovery, which is probably what we're going to take because that's great for the Wizardman's. All weather, you take less damage from like various elements, fire and ice it looks like, and you deal more of those elements, so it just makes you a little bit stronger, more resilient, and more damaging. Also a decent choice for the Wizardman's since he uses a lot of elemental damage. World Champion, this makes the game harder, and so this makes more champions arrive in the world so that you can fight your way through and actually level up and get better gear a lot faster. But of course, as with any roguelike, the bosses can be very, very RNG-y. It's occasional. It's just like Tome. Sometimes you'll walk around a corner and just get blitzed, and that's all that you can do about it, is try and like run away as fast as you can and hope that you can outrun them. Mad Thirsty. You can drink a potion for free in each round. Tireless. And so that one does, I don't know what Tireless does. Powers that use stamina have increased costs on use for 2 rounds instead of 5. Okay. So there you go. It's for, so basically there's a penalty for you using an ability too many times. If you use ability inside of its cooldown, you'll end up, it costs a way more stamina, and so that kind of takes the edge off of it. We're going to go with Electrolyzed. There it is. And so now we got to pick our portrait. There's a bunch of pre-made portraits right here that you can just pick from. There's one right here that looks like Alexi Leho with like a claymore. That's pretty much what that reminds me of right there. Got the wild child running around with a claymore or a Zweihander or whatever you want to call it. Got dervishes and things like that. I like him, but honestly, I fancy myself as like a little bit of a younger mage. So there we go. Younger mage. Plenty of foom, ready for adventure. Let's be on our way, ladies and gentlemen. We have stuff to do. Off we fly. And so here we are in the Dungeonmans Academy. Congratulations, Candy Crane. As the first graduate of the Dungeonmans Academy, there is much that rests upon your shoulders. This wild, untamed world is yours to explore, wander, and protect. Before you go, I can offer some exceedingly brief words of advice. No thank you, Headmaster. We are ready to rock. I know how the game basically works, and so we're just going to keep things together. Let's move on our way. You can click around using the mouse, or you can run around pretty easily just using the arrow keys, or you can use the number pad just like with any other roguelike that you would prefer. This is the academy, and you get to upgrade it later on, so as you loot like magical stuff, there'll be a store over here, there'll be a blacksmith over here who can break stuff down and build new things, the alchemist can take reagents and like make potions and all kinds of goodies for you. Over on this side here, there's a wizard vendor who gives you like books and staves and things of that nature, but you have to bring back mystical knowledge in order for him to be able to do that. So, in order to do that, we need to go out and actually do some adventuring, which who would have thought adventuring is a major part of being an adventurer. Okay, to the overworld. This right here is the overworld and where you will interface with the remainder of the game. The game has a lot of interesting mechanics in that as you level up, some of these dungeons are going to become useless to you and that you can't level with them or do anything with them. And so what it'll do is when you step over the dungeon, it'll just explode and give you a whole bunch of coins and loot just to symbolize that you went through their wrecked face and there was nothing that could even remotely challenge you. It's sort of an interesting mechanic that the first time it happened, I was like, what is that? But yeah, once you outlevel a dungeon, it basically allows you to club face forever, and that's all there is to it. So I figure we'll go to we can go to any of these dungeons right here. This little town down here will allow you to buy loot, and there's all kinds of good stuff there that can fill in just in case your academy doesn't have any of the items that you want. Same thing with the city up there. Lots of different places to explore, lots of places to do, lots of things to see, and in fact, a very, very fun game. Oh, with a sudden hue and cry, foes emerge from the bushes and drop from the trees in a cunning ambush. That's not good. So apparently when I was running around the forest, they've decided to jump me now. I come with 3 abilities. If you take a look up here at the top left-hand corner, I've got the Bolt of Foom. I have the Conjure Ice Block, which is a CC. I have the Light Shield, which becomes a energy shield around me that enemies can't penetrate until they deal a certain amount of damage. And so the Bolt of Foom and this one over here you're going to use a lot. Light Shield and Bolt of Foom, you're going to use it all the time. Whereas the Conjure Ice Block allows you to get rid of strong enemies while you deal with adds, or it allows you to get rid of adds while you deal with a strong enemy, whichever order you'd like to go in. It's totally and completely your call. Let's see, there's a Dangerous Street Jit. I don't know what a jit is, but it definitely sounds like a slur. I'm going to put a shield on right now, and he tried to hit us for 3 damage, and we managed to absorb it with our shield. Let me take a fireball real fast, and I'm going to foom him. And so there it is. We've dealt 8 damage. We can mouse over him, and we can see how much we've hurt him. It looks like we have wounded him. If you look at the top left-hand corner, down in the bottom right, we have how much our shield still has remaining. We have our XP bar right here. We have our HP, we have our stamina, and we have our mana. So be careful as you move through these. At the bottom, you will have coins and things that you can expend on adventures to get yourself even more gear and become more epic. Our item list is right here. Well, that's not it. Never mind. That's our level up list. Down here, you'll have all your basic inventory and skills lists, all the things you could ever want. The game has a very in-depth skill system and also a very in-depth strength. Oh my god. Anyways, the game has a very, very in-depth skills and powers system, along with you can basically get anything you want out of here with regards to your attributes. So, it's a little bit more in-depth than something you might see from Dungeons of Dreadmore, but at the same time, it's only a little bit more complicated than that, but it's equally as funny. With these skills and powers list, we kind of don't need that. It's a little redundant. We can use it later. Over here, when you level up, all of these trees, you can spec into any of them that you want at any time. It's just, you know, you probably want to have something you want to build towards for later in the game, because it will get challenging if you don't. And so I've zapped him to death. What is that? The Priceless and Rare Historical Artifact. So its name is in orange, which means we can take it back to the Academy and it'll do something awesome. Oh, we're being attacked by a little red guy. Of Satan's tiny minions, unless Satan himself has become very, very small and developed an affinity for knives. Alright, well, I'm gonna zap him then. Ow, you broke my bubble, man. My bubble has been burst. I hate that part of the adventure when the bubble gets burst. I'm gonna foom that guy right there. Aw, man, it didn't eliminate him. More foom! Further foom must be distributed. More foom? Okay. More foom has been dropped. Down here, we appear to have a plated field sarong. Lovely. Oh, I stepped in poison. That's bad. That's really bad. I'm going to put a shield on real fast so that it doesn't eat the rest of our health. We're actually sitting at 5 out of 19. We can rest if we wanted. I forgot how fragile this character is. Usually I go for better stats listings than I went with this guy, simply for the fact that you get more HP and like more stamina and stuff out of it, so we'll hang tight for a little bit. Our health is looking a little bit unacceptable right now, though. You can also rest if you press the R key, which will allow you to rest until healed, unless more naked guys run out of the forest and try to molest us while we're sleeping. Oh my god, we have been hit yet again. Alright, so we're gonna have to unleash the foom on this little guy here. I may also ice block him. There we go. So he's now been... oh, hell, that didn't work. Alright, well... there we go. Let's obliterate him with a foom spell. Alright, so we got a Scroll of Smear Endure. You can figure out what a spell does just by, like, fiddling with it. Basically, you just use it once, and then you'll know what it does. Let me rest again. If I get some more health back, that would be fantastic, because from where I'm sitting at the moment, it looks like we may soon be lying down in defeat. Alright, let's work our way out of this hellhole. I think we can walk through these bushes and stuff, although there's usually an exit around here somewhere. You can hold down the click to just, like, free walk like this, if that's what you would prefer to do. Oh, there's another kobold. I'm gonna put up a shield before I zap him to death real fast. Shield broken again. You can see down here in the bottom, the shield uses up our stamina, so, you know, you should probably kill guys before you run out of stamina. Probably a reasonably decent idea. Let's go back to the overworld. There are little random battles around, but I would like to show off the dungeon, so that's what we're gonna do first. We'll go in here. How about that? Alright, the Oakfell. Oh no, the Ookfells. Okay. I don't know what an Ookfell is. I don't know what an Ook is, let alone what it is when it falls, but I suppose... it's probably, maybe somebody named Ook died here? That might be the Tolkien-esque reason. Fragments of greatness remain here, a relic of an age undreamed. Who knows how this story will end? Well, it's gonna start with me picking up all these pennies off the ground because we are broke as a joke. I'm gonna put up a shield, and I'm just gonna foom the hell out of this knife-wielding psycho. Oh man, he got a hit off on us. That's disappointing. I hate it when people get a hit off on me. They can hit on me, but they can't get hits off me. There we... yay! I blasted him with a powerful blast of foom. I don't know what just happened right there. Puppy mold bubbles and wiggles unsettlingly. Is that what that is? It's a puppy mold? Candy Crane totally knows where you are. Secret door. Nice try. Wait, oh, there it is right there. Okay, cool. We got a secret door over on that right-hand side. And we've leveled up. There's our super awesome. It's telling us that we've leveled up. And in fact, it will sit here for quite some time if you don't go and level. Like, it just chills on the screen for a while. Just for people like me who tend to, like, forget that I have skill points and things to allocate. Let me incinerate myself a scorpion real fast because I am not in the mood for scorpion shenanigans. Scorpionanigans? There we go. Scorpionanigans seems like the right word. Ooh, wait, what are you? Oh, damn. Okay, so we have a problem. Run away! It might be a good idea. What does this cost me? Hold on. That takes 3 mana. Okay, so I'm going to put that right there so that he can't get through. And then I'm going to blast the hell out of him with Foom while we sit here. It wasn't 118 damage. That was actually 19 damage. It looked more impressive than it actually was. Basically, I'm just going to drop the Foom on him as much as possible. At the moment, my clicker is like teleporting around because the universe is punishing me for some karmic misdeed that I probably pulled in my past. Ooh, we obliterated him, and he dropped another good thing, too. So we got Rebel's Leather, and we got a blue Rebel's Leather, so that means it has a magical modifier. We got a Prancing Elf Limpcaster, which has not been identified, but I think we can still equip it, and then a Proof of Strength. And so we can take that back to the academy as well and upgrade some things. Basically, you just go back and you talk to the headmaster, and you just turn these things... Oh, hell. Hold on. Let me put up a shield real fast. There we go. I should probably level up too. So let's click on the button that's blinking at us, because when the button's blinking, I'm thinking that that means that I should probably be sinking some points into something more useful than what we have right now. We can go with... I'll probably go with something down the Wizardman's tree, because after all, we are a Wizardman's. I think we have combat casting. Okay, I think we can only take things that are like this right here. We can get Lava Lance, which hurls a spear of superheated foam in a line up to 4 squares long. That's pretty good because we're fighting in corridors, so I might go with that. Let's go with Lava Lance. And then what we can do is we can drag it to our bar right there. Yeah, that seems nice. That seems nice. Let's go have a look. Let's see who we can find around here to fulminate. Are you guys ready? Is everybody ready for Fumination? There it is. There's our first Fumination target. Bam. Foomed. That's what happens when you step up against the Wizardman's champion. Alright, so we got a couple of scrolls here. Let's see what those do. We can go to our inventory. And we can actually just sort of like read these. And that one says that it shields us against lesser projectiles. If you're wondering where I'm getting that from, it says it down here in the bottom left-hand corner. So be aware, that is where I'm getting all these random snippets of information from in the game. There's nothing that wants to fight us over here. Let's go down this way, though, and we'll check out this corridor. At the end of every dungeon, there's going to be like a big bad boss that tries to beat you to death, and that is not so fun. The bosses can be quite terrifying if you're not ready for them. We got a Splinter Grip Chopper. I don't want my grip to be splintered. That seems really, really painful. These right here, I think you can loot them, as I recall. I don't know exactly... Oh, never mind. It's just blood chunks. It's just viscera. We don't want to keep that with it. Wait. Hold on. Candy Crane gets the feeling that there's some kind of secret around here. Is it over here? Is that it? That was the secret, isn't it? Oh, I put a bubble on because that guy hit me for a lot of damage. I don't know where all my health went, but it's definitely not on my bar anymore. We got some Terra boots. Those are just boots that are Terra bad. It said there's a secret around here somewhere. Let me see if we can find this thing. Lots of... Oh, schnikes. Okay, so we have made a bunch of friends now. Oh, no. And nary a spell left to cast, unfortunately. Wow, he busted through our shield, no joke, quickly. Things can attack on the diagonals in this game, so be ready for that. I'm going to get to a position where they both can't attack me, and then I'm going to use my shield. He's going to break my shield again. I'm going to put it back up, though. And I'm going to hope that from our 1 HP that we survive this nasty encounter. It looks like there's some magical plate mail lying over there, but I'm not going to risk it for right now. You can also, we have a bunch of stuff in our inventory that you can use when you start out. We've got these little door spikes. You can hammer them into doors to seal them shut. I've never done it, but I know that you can do it. So, you know, if you're that sort of gamer where you like to use strange mechanics, go for it. I used a Scroll of Identify. Okay, that means that it randomly... Oh, never mind. We can do that on the Limpcaster. There we go. That'll make us attack a little bit harder. So let's put the Limpcaster in our inventory over here. Can I equip Rebel Leather? No, I can't equip Rebel... You have to have the right skill set before you can equip things. You can unlock those through the menu that we had before. You can just click on any of the trees and grab the thing that you want. You can basically spec any way that you want in this game. You're totally free to do it. There's no penalty, I don't think, for being like a plate mail wielding guy who runs around. It just lowers your dodge, I think, and that's pretty much it. I'm going to take a nap right here, even though I think it's probably ill-advised. Oh, we might make it. We might make it. Oh, that's looking pretty good, actually. We actually got a really, really big sleep in there. It's very rare that I make it through like a 30 HP sleep without getting attacked. So what's in this room? Obviously, there's got to be something horrible in here that's being guarded. There we... Oh, no. Okay, so we just took 16 damage all in one swing, which is several different flavors of terrible. It's like a Baskin-Robbins of bad in here. We have a serious problem right now. And we're out of stamina, which is enjoyable. So I may try to flee out of the dungeon, actually, just to stay alive, because death is totes permanent in this game, and it totes sucks. Okay, so I got my shield back. There we go. So they're going to heal, and I think they wait for me. That little shield right there means we haven't completed the dungeon, and we can come back for it later. I'm going to go back to the place over here, the academy that we recently opened. It seems strange to me that we have the influence and the power to open up an academy, but at the same time, like, all of our heroes are level 1. I think we can hand that off to him. I brought some relics back to the academy. My word, look how historical and significant this rare artifact is. Surely you see the value in such a rare find. It believes... Well, I gotta think in the short term. I'm probably gonna die in the next dungeon anyways. I'll pawn this at the next shop I come across and get paid. It belongs in a museum. You've made the right call. All we need is a museum to store this in. Here, close your eyes. Congratulations, you have started the museum. And so what you get is every now and again, let's see here. You have founded the Dungeonmans Academy Museum. Now you and all future graduates will gain monster knowledge for each enemy defeated in battle. Monster knowledge will let you see more detailed information about your enemies in the field, as well as provide you with an edge in combat. When your knowledge reaches a certain point, you will generate a book of true things, a collection of indisputable facts you can return to the headmaster to ensure all future graduates share in your wisdom. How awesome does that sound? Sharing knowledge with people from all over the spheres. As of right now, we just need to get our health back. Oh wait, we need to hand that other thing into the dungeon, or not the dungeon master, the headmaster. Unless you count the academy. I guess if monsters came here, it'd be sort of like a reverse dungeon for them to level up, right? Huh. Well, let me see. Do I have a book? The Proof of Strength, an undeniable mark of prowess and tenacity. And so we can go to the Battle Master now and raise our base stats. I'm not recalling where the Battle Master is. I'm sure he's around here somewhere. I think he's probably this guy down here. Nope, that's a Gravedigger. Completely different job. Battle Master? Ah, there he is. So, we have 1 Proof of Strength, which means we can spend on improving our base stats. Let's improve them. I'm probably going to go with health, because we've been taking a lot of damage lately, and I want to make sure that our constitution's a little bit better. Fantastic. I'm happy with it. Yes, we will save those changes, and we will be out for a new adventure in a different direction, hopefully, because if those things are still waiting for us inside that dungeon, we are going to be doomed. So let's go in this dungeon right here. We're going to take like a detour and maybe come back. Ooh, apparently whoever owns this dungeon just keeps like their treasure on the floor. How nice of them. That makes my job easier. I do the same thing with my laundry. So just in case any weird kobolds decide to attack me and steal my laundry, I'll leave it on the floor for you. You don't even need to come into the back room. You need to go through any drawers or anything. I hate it when kobolds go through my drawers. It's the worst. Their nasty little furry calloused hands just all inside my drawers. Nope. Nope. Those are not the proper... You have to take care of your hands if you're going to reach inside my oak chest of drawers. Let's go over here. We'll grab that. A scroll of Wound Suzer Rice. Alright. Well, Wound Suzer Rice, what do you do? Ah. It is a scroll of Bolster Armor. Fantastic. Apparently our armor has become further bolstered by this magical scroll. So it just goes to show, you should read more. It may raise your armor, or something, rather. I don't know. Alright, enemy destroyed. Got a red potion down here. This game follows in the footsteps of like every roguelike ever. You do have to test out potions by yourself to see if they're going to hurt you or help you. By and large, though, I think most of them have helped me so far. In the amount of time I've played this game, I don't think I've run across any negative ones. They might do weird stuff, but they don't like instantly kill you like some roguelike potions do. I'm looking at you, Powder. Actually, is there a potion that insta-gives you in Powder? I think there is. I think there's like a potion of death in that game. When you drink it, you just fall over dead. Frankly, I remember losing characters. On my droid, I had Powder, like Powder Handheld or Powder something. I don't know. They named it something different on the droid. It was Powder with like some kind of modifier. And in that case, what had happened is I drank something and it killed me. Ooh, some flippy floppies. And in fact, that is what they're called. We should probably equip those because we don't have any shoes on right now. That's right. Our hero is so broke that he has no shoes. Maybe he'll be like Shoeless Joe Jackson and he'll get himself some kind of like, I don't know, quirky American nickname based on the fact that he has no shoes. I don't know. It might happen. I mean, if that's the best you can hope for given your personal situation, if a quirky nickname is it, well, I guess you should probably take it. Let's go back through here, destroy some of these enemies. There we go. Ooh. Took a little damage right there, unfortunately. Alright, we'll eliminate that enemy right there. It actually looks like it's time to probably draw this to a close. This game is quite good. I wanted to talk pros and cons on it, and while I'm not completely and totally experienced with the game, I've done like 5 or 6 playthroughs. The reason there was no Academy on this one is because I just got a new computer, so I didn't have a chance to move my save file over. But thus far, I've found that the challenge for different characters is really markedly different. I mean, different characters face different challenges. The mage dies almost instantly if anything runs up on him and gets within melee range. He has to spam on his shield and just like hope for the best whenever it happens, whereas the fighter man can get into combat, but he has a lot of trouble getting himself out of combat, which then becomes like a major issue because once he chooses an engagement, he's stuck into it. The Bannermans is able to buff people and do all kinds of fun stuff right there, and so you've got an experience right here, and if you take the Dungeonmans, like the generic Dungeonmans, you can actually just build your character however you want. So there's basically like an endless amount of characters you can create as you play the game. You just kind of fiddle with stuff and you can make any type of hybrid character you really want. Since your stats can all be manipulated by finding more artifacts and relics, it's not that big of a deal if you make a mistake. Just go kill a lobby dungeon, find another relic, and, you know, get on with it and fix your stats real fast. I haven't got into the late game yet, but I've been having a lot of fun with it. The only con that I would say that I've found with this game so far is that if you're not into roguelikes, this game can kill you very suddenly and very quickly if you're not, like, paying attention or being careful. And because I do neither of those things when I play video games, I die a lot. So if you get mad at getting like insta-gibbed and things like that occasionally, this may not be the game for you. The other con is that I wish the game actually had a generic paper doll character and the equipment got added onto the top of it as you changed your gear. That's a minor pet peeve and it's a personal one. Some people like the pre-made characters. I'm one of those people that likes to watch my character develop visually as I play the game, so that's just it for me. The game is called Dungeonmans. If you want to get it, it's by Adventure Pro. You can get it on Steam. I'm going to put the link down below so that you can check it out. And it's available for $14.99. My name is Splattercat, and this was Weekly Indie Newcomer, the series that I do, where I play an indie game that has popped onto my radar over the course of the last week. Every Friday, I'll have one of these episodes out, so check back in. Barring crazy things happening anyways, I should always have one of these up on Fridays. I will see you all next week. Take care, everybody, and hi-do.